Hey YouTube, Kyle from Team Pie for Life here with, what's your name?
Griffin.
And then how'd you do here at Charlotte?
I went X2 in Swiss, and then I lost in the top 32 to Andres Torres.
Cool. And before we start, do you have any shout outs you want to do?
Yeah, shout out to Erie D, the group chat with the boys from Locals.
Cool. You want to get into your deck?
Yep, sure. Okay, so I play 20 hand traps because it's 60 cards. So 3 Ash, 3 Ogre, 3 Nib, 3 Droll, 2 Veiler, 2 Bell, a Lancia because of Dagda, and then triple Impermanence. I was playing like an extra Veiler, but I thought Prank Kids would be more popular, and Bell's very good against Prank Kids. And it is also very good against Despia, which would have been nice if I drew it, but I didn't. Probably because it's a 2 of in 60, which would make sense that I didn't draw it. But yeah, 20 hand traps. That puts you to see 1 like almost always, and then more than 1 like way more than half the time, but you know, not really, like 60% or something. The Eldlich cards, just 1 because it's not very good to draw. This is the only one that's good to draw, but you know, this one's not good to draw, but at all.
They're actually really cheap.
These are actually better to draw because like they're better with souls because they get to this, and this one's like worse with souls because they get to these.
That's first ed, yeah.
But
what is it, French?
I didn't really play against a lot of combo decks, so the Eldlich cards were like pretty good because normally they're the worst part of the deck because you play against combo and they're trap cards.
How'd you like the one lock arrow?
It was good. Like I never sided it out, and I never wanted more. It's good against like DPE, but like all the scary decks don't really need. They're not worried about getting hit with a DD crowd. The 9 normal summons, they're all pretty much the same. This one could be an extender with Foolish, and this one can like Monster Reborn like a Veiler to like, you know, do more plays, maybe like a Hulk or something. Then the Brave cards. Just 1 of this. It's not good to draw, so I don't want to see more than 1. And then if this like the circumstance for this being like good is like your like Griffin resolved and shuffled itself back, and then like this leaves the field and now you want another one to get back to the Griffin that shuffled back. But like if Griffin like resolves it to negate, like you pretty much just win because like it's always getting ogred or impermed or something. So that card sucks. And then 2 Magician Souls, 1 Illusion of Chaos, and 2 Prep. This card's just awful, and the only reason to play like more than 1 is because like if you draw like these guys, these cards are obviously worse than this one. So you can put these back to the top instead of this, and then I can actually resolve souls. But I never want to draw this. It plays into Droll the worst. I mean, Prep plays into Droll the worst, but it's better to draw multiples. Yeah, this card just is not it. I'm not playing like Herald of Arclight or anything cool, so it's like really bad. The Destiny Hero bricks were there, but then obviously the 2 Fusion Destiny. Just because I play multiple Anaconda, I was only on 1 and 1, but then like it's hard to beat Nib. And this card's obviously just insane to like open. And then the 1 Foolish because it's like Water Enchantress or Golden Lord or a Dotscaper, which is like okay. I was playing Small Worlds, but then you just start losing cards and like you can't keep up. And then Scythe because of that.
Anything you'd want to change in the main?
The hand traps, well this deck just might suck if Despia is the best deck, which it probably will be. But if this deck doesn't suck and Despia is really good, then like the hand trap will probably change like substantially because some of these hand traps like Ogre, I think, and Nib, I think are really bad against Despia, where like Ghost Bell and Veiler are better, so maybe Ghost Bell and Veiler would be 3-ups. Tough to say, but for this event I liked it. For the extra deck, 2 Devotees, so you can do the Dagda thing, 2 Anaconda, so when you get nibbed you can like make a Link Spider and like go into the second one. And this also just never resolves, so on turn 3 sometimes you have more than 2,000 life and you can make another one. Rare. These cards, I never summoned this once, odd, but I summoned it a bunch of locals, so it's probably still good. This card's really, really strong because like a Charmer can just go into it, so you don't actually always need this. And then this card was insane. Yeah, this card's very good. And then speaking of the Charmers, these cards are super neat. They take DPEs, they take Lancias and Ogres, they help you get to the access code. I got cherries, like round something, for my DPE, which is like devastating, but I was able to just like bring back like his Ogre with this. It was pretty cool. I won that game. And then there's like only like one flex spot in the deck. It's like this card, or like you can play like Cerberus or like Unicorn, but the Devotee locks you into like Link 2 or lower, so Unicorn never came up. And like back row is much more scary than like, you know, monsters, because if you're summoning a Link 2 and using the effect, like what are you actually destroying? And then Link Spider for like nib, and then sometimes like you need to turn your Brave token into like an effect monster. This is pretty neat. It helps you beat Imperm, but it also plays into nib, so like you never make it for that. It's like, so all the normal summons can turn into this, and then they all get their effects, and then so you get like 1 card Dark Charmers on turn 3, which is nice. So like if they like Super Poly you or like DD Crow you, like you have follow up, because you don't always have the Eldlich engine, and then like your follow up's like super bad. This card's obviously insane. I was just shotgunning Scythe like more often than not and just seeing what happened, and it was like insane. And then just that for the Devotee stuff, and then that, so not much to change. Like there's really not too much you can do to make this deck different. Side deck, I played Gamma because I'm already playing like every other hand trap, so this is like the only other one, right? Besides like Skullmeister or Crow. This card was insane. It's Gamma, of course it's insane. And then the nice thing with this deck is like when you draw these awful cards like Driver, the little Disciple thing puts them to the bottom. So like people think you never brick because they don't see the bricks, but little do they know they're at the bottom of the deck. I couldn't decide on a 15th card, but I knew I wanted another hand trap. And one of my losses in Swiss was to the Flunder deck, the Birds. That deck is very frightening. All the decks that like I lose to, Lancia is good against. So I was like, I want another hand trap. I'll make it Lancia. And then it's nice for Dagda if you want to like take out Scythe and put this in. It's really neat. I decided 6 back row removal because I was either just going to play none or 6, because if you play 3, it's like you're never going to see it. So I went with Twin and Lightning Storm. Like a lot of people are playing Cyclone, but I want this for like the Prank Kid deck. Also very good against the Despia deck, as it turns out. Played against like Invoked, so it was good. But yeah, it was either like no back row removal or 6 back row removal, and these could be Cyclones, but like Twin's like kind of crazy. And then just for when I go first, I did triple talents and a Called by the Grave. These could have been like cross out designators, right? But like that's like so stressful, right? Because you don't know if you're gonna have the right hand trap for cross out designator, and it's weird, and people see Eldlich cards, so they side Lancia against you, and Lancia is awful, but it's really good if you have cross out designator. And this was like insane because everyone's playing like the Prank Kid deck, and when they're playing the Prank Kid deck, their hands like really suck. So when you look at their hand and they have a normal summon and you shuffle it back, then they're like down bad and you just win, even though you got like Nib, Ogre, Gamma. You're like, well, get rid of your Prank Kid monster. And they always have, and the thing with cross-out designator is they always have more than one hand trap. They just always do, right? So you really don't care if you get like a cross-out designator on like the Ghost Ogre that stops right, because they always just have like Gib, Ogre, Gamma, all these crazy cards. So, you know, this card was crazy, and this is a 1 of in 60, so like you never actually draw it. I drew it once and I lost, so it didn't matter.
Any last minute comments?
Nope, that's it.
All right. Congrats on the top.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yep.